Hello everyone, this is Clossi, and I'm here to show you the GoBot version 1.0. So if you are watching this video, go ahead and click the link in the description below to get your GoBot if you have not already. And if you already have your GoBot, then let's go ahead and get started. So here, what you get when you get the GoBot, when you actually get the GoBot either from my Patreon or from my website, then you'll get this zip file, and inside the zip file is these three folders. These three folders have the program in them. So if you're in the Windows or the Linux, you will have the program and a data file. Now, this may look confusing, but it's actually really simple. Now, don't quote me on the Linux. I don't have a Linux computer to double check this, but basically in the folder, you will have the program, a data file, and a documentation on how to use it. All you have to do is for Windows, you right click and you'll create a shortcut. There will be a shortcut. Don't take the program out of this folder. This folder can be wherever you want it on your computer. The GoBot folder can be wherever you want, but you cannot take the program out of the folder because it has to be with the data folder. But if you create a shortcut to the executable, then you can use the program wherever, or you put the program wherever. So for Windows, and I'm pretty sure Linux too, but don't quote me on Linux. If there's an issue with Linux, guys, then post in the comments below how to use it on Linux. But I just know it has to be with the data file. But anyway, just right click it and create a shortcut. Right click it, create a shortcut. And then you can put that shortcut on your desktop or wherever you want. And that way you can access it very easily. So you'll just have this little icon. This is actually what it looks like right here. And then the documentation, the PDF file, is basically a 15-page documentation on how to use the GoBot. But I'm going to walk you through it in this video. But the documentation is there if you need it, or if you ever get lost, it's right there. All right, in the Mac version, the Mac is nice and simple. It has only the GoBot and the documentation, and you can put the GoBot wherever. You can actually just copy paste that, put it on your create a shortcut on your desktop, or you can just drag and drop it to your desktop. This one actually doesn't matter. All right, so now we have the GoBot. So let's go ahead and launch it, and we're going to figure out how to use the GoBot. Now, I tried to make this as simple as possible to set up. You can see the sound effects are working. And before you click the login, so if your settings are already set up, all you have to do is click login to login. Now, but the first time you use this, the very first time you open it, you're going to have to set up the settings. So go in the settings. Bot channel, oath token, NA, yeah, you see all that, right? Well, the bot channel is, you're just going to put in the name of the account that the bot's going to have access to. So this will be a Twitch account. You can make a free Twitch account if you want, whenever, or you can use your mainstream account. Both are fine. But this will be the name that the bot's going to log into. Then you're going to need the token from that account. So basically, you're going to open a web browser. You're going to log into this account on Twitch. And then you're going to get your oath token from that account. And to do that, you can just simply click this button and it'll actually open a web page for you. As you can see here, it opened it in my other screen. And you'll just click the connect with Twitch and you'll get an oath token. And then you'll copy paste that oath token. So I'm going to do it off screen. I'm going to copy and paste that little oath token. And I'm going to paste it right in here. And I made sure that, oh, sorry, I'm supposed to hit enter actually. Ooh, come on. I accidentally hit the button and now I tried to open a web page and actually took me out of the screen. All right, so I'm gonna enter that. And I don't think it entered it properly. So yeah, I accidentally just went out when I was actually supposed to just hit enter. But anyway, it should do it. Oh, I see, it cuts it off. Yeah, so I actually put that in there so you can't see the whole token on stream. So if you're streaming and showing this GoBot or something, it'll actually stop. It won't show the whole tokens. That way the people can't take your token. Anyway, we have an oath token now, so the oath token's there. Now we need to tell it what channel to actually join. In this case, I'm going to join the chat room of channel Clossi. So this will join the chat room. Sorry, I meant chat room, not actually the channel. So the channel it joins is the bot channel name, and then it'll need the oath token from that bot channel name, and then the chat it's going to join is whatever you put in here. So it can actually join different chat rooms or whatever. You can use this for multiple different streaming accounts. You just have to change the username each time. So in this case, I'm going to be joining the chat room of my channel Clossi. And then you're pretty much done. You can actually log in right now and be fine. If you were already logged in or you already clicked that login button and you want to change either of those 3 settings, so one of these 3, if they change and you've already pushed login, you'll have to restart the program, because once you push that login, it's going to log in with that information. So make sure you set that information before you log in. If you didn't, it's fine. Just close the program and open it back up and change the information. All right, but now we've set that in, so we're going to log in and we've joined the server. This is all fine and dandy. That's what Twitch sends us to let us know that, hey, we're connected. And then you'll get a big screen and it looks really crazy. It's like, what is all happening here? Well, now we're going to get into the features and we're going to tackle the features one by one. Now, if you want to just stop the video here and read the documentation on your own in your own time, that is perfectly fine. You're good to go on your bot. Everything is set up for you to do it. All you needed was that stuff and your bot will now work. But if you want to go into the features, well, let's go ahead and get started. So first, we are in the chat. This is the default one we're in, is the chat one. And this chat actually is my chat room. So test comment. And you can see that I wrote a test comment and it'll actually go to the Twitch chat. I don't have a Twitch chat window open right now or to show you, but it actually goes to the chat room in channel Clossi. And you can see it greets the users. So when users join, it'll greet, and then it'll actually update the viewers when people join. It will update this little viewers thing right here, and it will actually update. So you can see there's 3 people on there, but that's actually the robots. It will update around every 15 to 20 seconds or so. This viewer thing will update. So you might see someone join and then they'll say hello and then the bot will greet them like 10 seconds later. Well, don't worry about that. I mean, it's not every second it's getting the viewer information. It's actually every 15 to 20 seconds. But you can actually click on the viewers and see who is in here, and you'll see the viewer list. Now, if you have more than, I believe, like 60 live viewers, I think, no, maybe it's more than 60. I forget the exact number, but this will line up to 4 columns. So you can see this is the size. It'll go all the way down and then it'll go in the next one and the next one and the next one. So if you have more than like 60 or 70 viewers, well, it's not going to show every single one of them, but it'll show the first few. But the number will keep track of them. If you get like an obscenely large number, like 1,000 or something, the number will probably track off a little bit, but it should fully display at all times what the number is. All right, so back to chat. Now, many of you, if you are watching this and you are not a Go player, then probably will never use this section right here except for the play sound. So you can actually toggle the sound right there, and that's on every single menu. You can actually click that sound toggle, and when you do that, you will not get any sound. But you also won't get alerts. So there is an alert for the ask for move. So if you're going to use that, maybe you want sound. Anyway, this is where you can ask the viewers to vote on a move. And this is what I was using to run my Twitch Plays videos when I was trying it out. For those of you who know, I did a Twitch Plays Go. And we basically let the Twitch chat play a Go game. And that was quite fun. I have another video on that on my channel if you want to watch that. I recorded one of the games we played. We played several, but one of them actually, got uploaded to YouTube, and all 4 corners, like A19, T19, A1, and T1, all 4 of them got played, and we still won. So that was a fun video. So let's go over how to use this bit right here. So first off, if you just click Ask for Move, it will ask the chat for a move and tell them to vote on a move. And you can do an example. You just type the coordinate, like D4. So for example, D5, D4, wherever you want. You can also do resign and pass. And you can only vote once. Every user can only vote once. However, if this is checkmarked, they can buy an extra vote. So for example, buy vote D5. And if I had enough points, I don't think I have enough points right now. Yeah, I actually don't have any points, do I? So ClossiBot actually doesn't have any points. You can see ClossiBot has 5 points. So ClossiBot can't afford it. But if you had the set amount of points, which is cost to buy 100, then you could buy an extra vote. And that's to reward people to, or to vote, basically give them something to spend points on. So when someone votes, they will actually get to vote, and then it'll choose their move. And I don't think it's working with ClossiBot because ClossiBot's kind of the robot, and I don't think it counts the robot's vote. But I did test this with the chat, and it does work with the chat. So it works. It's just you can't vote on your own move. The robot himself cannot vote. But that's basically how it'd work, is they would just type that and they can use that command. Unfortunately, the bot itself does not vote because I think people can troll their viewers if they did that. But technically you can. If you just get on your streamer account, you could still vote. All right, but that's the ask for move, and then you can set the cost to buy an extra vote. And here is a system I came up with after testing this. Many people were starting to not vote, and so I wanted to encourage more votes, and so I came up with this system, and every time you vote, you will get 1 point. And this point will be added basically every turn. If you vote on a move every turn, there's like 200 something moves in a Go game. You can get 1 point for every vote. So if you vote every single move, you can get like 200 points during a Twitch plays, 200 plus points during a Twitch plays just by voting every single turn. And then you can spend 100 of those to buy a move, so you can almost nearly guarantee yourself to win the vote when you buy it. But there's other ways to earn points as well, and we'll get into that in the settings here in a minute. But so it's not only 1 point every time you vote; you can get many more points than that. So that's why it's actually that low, is because there's so many ways to get points with this that maybe you want it low, but you can actually change it yourself. So if you want to raise it to 10 points every vote, and every 10 moves you can buy an extra vote or something, then you can do that. This one can go up to like 3 digits, I think, and that one can go up to like 5. Yeah, basically you can reward your voters or reward your viewers for voting on a move. And then I came up with this auto ask on submit. So what this is your chat falls behind the game sometimes because of the Twitch lag. Now, I couldn't do anything about the lag because Twitch always has lag, and they couldn't see the exact move that the opponent played, and it cut into their voting time, and they were basically blitzing and playing their move within 5 or 10 seconds. So what I did was I came up with this where you could input the opponent's move. So when you do that, it'll actually tell the chat the opponent moved d5, or the opponent's move is d5. And then you could ask for move. But I had an auto ask on submit. So when I submit d5, it'll automatically ask for the next move and then tell them where the opponent moved. So it'll ask them for a move and then the opponent's move. And that way they can see the opponent's move and immediately vote after they see the opponent's move. And they'll actually wait for that. And actually cancel that, cancel the ask for move if you ever need to. So yeah, that is the ask for move functions on the first screen. Now let's go back into the settings, just because I want to talk about the points I was talking about. So in the settings, you can actually toggle use points and don't use points. So anything that uses points or displays points or anything to do with points would not work if this is turned off. So any point command, anything that uses, you have to pay points or buy points or bet points, anything like that would not work if use points is toggled off. So if you don't want your chat using points or anything like that, then you just toggle this off and you're good. If you do want it to use points, then just leave it on. And all the toggles will be saved, I think, except for this one, the auto ask on move, because I didn't want people to accidentally leave that on and then forget. So that one I think is the only one that doesn't save, but I think all the other toggles saves. So there's that, and then you can actually name your points and change your points name. So for example, right now my points name is points. So let's say I do points. It'll say, ClossiBot, I'm a new guy, I have 10 points. But now I'm going to change the points. And if you watch my stream, you know I have Clossi coins. So I can just name this Clossi coins. And now I do points. ClossiBot has 10 Clossi coins, and it actually changes the command as well. So it also adds the command Clossi coins, which does the exact same thing as points. But that way you can actually set up your own unique point system in your stream and name it whatever you want. And the command will actually change depending on what you name it. So that was a cool little feature. I thought that you could actually make the name and command whatever you want. And that's Clossi coins. That's that. And then the points given every 5 minutes. So this is what I meant by extra points. So every 5 minutes, I have a little timer thing that runs in the program. When it logs into the chat, it starts. Every 5 minutes, the people watching will gain points, or in this case, Clossi coins, or whatever you named it. And you can define how many points they gain every 5 minutes. So the default is 5, so you gain 1 point a minute that you're watching the stream. And you could change this to 1 point every 5 minutes if you want to make it hard to gain points, or you could raise it to like 50 points every 5 minutes if you want to make the numbers larger or whatever. They gain 10 points every minute, and you can set this to whatever you want. But every 5 minutes, whatever you defined here will be given out. If you don't want to give up points every 5 minutes, just make it 0, and it'll give out 0 points, which won't do anything. And that's how you can use that, and you can reward your viewers just for watching. Just for being there and watching your stream, you can give them points. But that's that. And now we can go into points, and we get into where the points are. Now this will not show the live viewers, even though it is right now. This will actually show anyone who's ever been in your stream, and it'll show their rank and their points that they have. This one also has a max of, I think, like 60. Now, the list can be greater than 60 in the program, but it'll only display, I think, like the first 60 or so. This may, yeah, I think it's around 60. So even though this list may max out, don't worry, it'll keep going. You just won't be able to see it. And it'll basically show you who's been in your stream and how many points they have. This is, as of right now, this isn't ordered. I may do that in a future update or something to order this somehow. I just don't know if I want to alphabetical order, rank order, or points order, and I don't really want to get into all that. So I just made it to where it showed all the users that have joined. So this will be in the list in the order that the ClossiBot's seen them. Now, as long as they are in this list somewhere, as long as ClossiBot, or sorry, I call it ClossiBot because that's what mine's called, but it's actually GoBot, the GoBot. So as long as the GoBot has seen them once in the chat, it knows that they exist, it knows that they're there, and it has a profile on them. So as long as it has a profile on them, whether they're online or offline, you can give or take points. Now, here you would put the amount of points you want to give. So let's say 100 points. And let's give it to ClossiBot because he's short on points. Let's give it to ClossiBot. And that's the bot I'm signed on with right now. And then I'm just gonna add points. All right, I just got 100 points. Sweet. But let's say I've been like ClossiBot's been bad or something. I want to take points, or he doesn't earn it, or something like that, or he gets in trouble. Well, take the points, and there you go. You could also do the add to all. Now the add to all button will add whatever's in here, so 100 points. To everyone who's watching. Now you don't. This field doesn't matter if you're going to click this button, but you have to have a number in here. Now once you click that add to all, it'll add whatever's in here to every single viewer that's in this list. So that's really good if you want to do like big rewards. And I was using this add to all. So like when the entire Twitch chat won the game in the Twitch Plays Go, I gave everyone who was watching at the end of the game 100 Clossi coins, and that was my reward for everyone who participated and stuck around till the end and actually helped win the game. And then they won, so which was great, and I was able to give them all 100 points. But you can use that however you want. I kind of made it to where it's easy to navigate in the menu. You could also do commands, which your admins can do commands as well. Add points command, which you'll see more in the documentation, the take points command, and the add to all does not have a command because I didn't want people abusing that and stuff, so that's only done from the menu. So only the owner of this bot can do it in their stream. All right, now let's get into the poll system. The poll system is just a basic voting poll. You'll give it options, and then you'll set a timer and start, and people can vote on it. So for example, let's say I'm asking my stream, what do you guys want to see me do next? I can say teaching game. I can give a game review, or I can play a game. And let's set the timer for 10 seconds, but you can set it for 60 or 120 or whatever you want. Start, and you can actually watch the votes live. So let's say someone votes. So let's see if I remember the command. I actually wrote so many commands, I forgot all of them. Let's try vote. Oops, it took too long. Okay, let's set the timer a little bit longer. 30 seconds. Start. Okay, so let's say, let's look in the chat. It actually tells me how to do it. To vote, type vote and then option. So I have options 1, 2, and 3. Okay, see? I've even made a bot that's smarter than me. Vote, let's say option 1 for a teaching game. So vote 1. You can see teaching game got up voted 1, and at the end of it, it'll actually display the results. If it's a tie, it'll display all the results that tied. And then you can also cancel it at any time. So you can see here, it'll show you the results and the winner. That way you can see what the actual thing was. All right, and that's the poll system. Now, from the menu, it is limited to 3 options. However, in the documentation, there is a start poll function that can put in as many options as you want as you can fit in the text field. So you can put into like 5 to 7 options, I believe, depending on how big the options are. But I think it has to do with characters. But anyway, you can start a poll with many more options than just 3. If you want to do that, you'll just have to use the manual command start poll. And you can read the documentation for the whole function on how to do that. I think it's really simple. I think it's just start poll, then the time, so 60, and then the options, blah, 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 and then you just separate them by the colon. And that way, yeah, let's go ahead and delete that without making a bunch of noise. That way you can actually put spaces in it, because I was separating them by spaces, but then I noticed when I put teaching game as 2 different words, it separated them into 2 different options, so I had to separate them by the colon. So it's a little ugly to type the code, but we have a menu here for 3 options. But if you wanna, you can do it. If you just read the documentation, learn how to use it, and learn all the commands in there, you can put as many options as you can fit into the text field down here. And it'll extend. So it's not just this space, guys. It's a little bit further than this space. It goes, I think, twice this space. Anyway, that's the poll. So now let's go into the store. Now the store, these are default items and default transaction. That's to show you an example of what you'll see. Now, and you can add an item in your store, or you can remove an item, and you can put the cost of that item. So for example, let's say I want a store item. Let's say I want to sell, I don't know, Skype call. And let's make it cost 5,000. Okay, and add, you can see Skype call 5,000. Now let's say, okay, I want to edit it. Well, as long as this line right here is the exact same as this line, so actually, is it case sensitive? Let's test it. I actually forgot if I made a case sensitive or not. Let's change the cost, and then you just hit the edit button, and it'll change the cost. Okay, so it's not case sensitive. You just have to spell it correctly and put the same amount of spaces and symbols, and you're good. So it's not case sensitive. Cool. See, I told you I made the bot smarter than myself. Kind of funny. But anyway, all you have to do is change the cost. As long as the name is the same, you can edit the cost, and you just hit edit to edit the cost. And if you want to remove, then as long as the name is the same, you remove it, and it's gone. It's no longer in there. And for people to see what's in the store, they just have to type the command store. And you can see it'll actually show the store. Now, you may wonder why this is so small. This is actually a feature I added in because I noticed that the text kept running over the thing. So there's a certain length to the text field, and I put in a certain amount of line, or a certain amount of lines that could be input in text, and some lines are longer than others. So for example, this line's this long, and then this line's 2 lines long, and then some lines are like 3 lines long. So in order to deal with that, you'll actually see the text changes in size. The text will change in size depending on what's in there. So if there's a lot of text, it'll change in size to make sure it can fit this many inside of it. And if everything's like 1 line, it'll be a lot bigger. But that's basically that can change in size, and then you'll see the backlog here. Did I already go over that? I'm not sure if I went over that or not. But basically, this is where your chat happens, and that's the backlog in case you miss something. Like if the chat goes too fast and someone says something or does something, well, it actually will appear over here for another same amount of times. So this is just a backlog to show you everything that was written before this bit. And then after it falls off this list, then it's gone, and you won't be able to see it on this. This will basically have two chat boxes. One is the chat that's happening live, and this is the backlog in smaller text. So hopefully you guys enjoy that little feature. If you don't like it, well, tell me how I can improve it. All right, where were we? Back to the store. Now you can see the last 5 transactions here. When someone buys an item. So I'll show you an item. So I'll have to give myself points. So add points, Clossi bot. Let's say 1,000. Actually, let's say 5,000. All right, so Clossi bot gained 5,000 Clossi points. All right, so let's say buy teaching game. Clossi bot bought a teaching game, and this will appear in red to let the person running the bot see it immediately. And that's why I also have the backlog in case this gets pushed up too fast. It'll actually appear over here as well, and it'll show you in red that, hey, someone bought something, and it's a teaching game. Now let's say you see red and you're like, and it got kicked off too fast, and you're like, oh no, where to go? You just have to go back into the store and you'll see the last 5 transactions. Well, here's the transactions. Now, once it gets kicked off this list, once there's been more than 5 transactions since this one, then this one will get kicked off the list and you will lose it forever. So hopefully you will see it before it gets kicked off this. And if the chat says they bought something, you can always check and confirm it right here. And this will go up to the last 5 transactions. And this will save even if you turn off the bot and turn it back on. As long as the bot saw the buy command, then it'll save it right here for you. All right, now let's go into ranks. Now, ranks is a little fun thing. It can't do too much right now, but I think it's really cool for bragging rights for your viewers. Now, viewers can actually buy and edit and change ranks depending with their points. Now, this also has an owner and admin rank. So this means that the owner is basically going to be the streamer, and the admin will be whatever admin you set. Admin cannot be bought, but you can manually add an admin just by using the change rank command. Change rank. And you can and make someone an admin doing that. Now remember that they have to be in the viewer list already. The GoBot has to have seen them once to know that they exist. And then you can make them whatever rank you want. Now for other people, for the normal viewers, they will start out as the lowest rank possible. That will be new guy in this case. You can add as many ranks as you want. That was the idea when I made this, to let you have complete control over how many ranks are in your stream, because I know some streams will work differently than others. So I try to give you as much freedom as possible. Now, the ranks don't really matter permission-wise until the admin and owner, and the permissions have to do with what commands you have access to. The admins will have access to like 90% of the commands that GoBot has to offer, and the owner has access to the last like 10%. So the owner has 100% access to GoBot. Do not let anyone become an owner except for yourself. The admin can access all the commands an admin should ever need to access with the GoBot. So the admin rank should be for your friends that you trust through the stream, whatever. That's the admin rank. Admins cannot change ranks. Only the owner can do that. And I set that way so the admins can't give someone else admin as well. Only the owner can actually make someone an admin and make someone something else. Now, for when you are a viewer and you have a rank, let's say you have a rank in here, you can actually, if you're using ranks, if the use ranks is on, then the viewer or regular or new guy or whatever can actually use the rank up command and buy rank command to see how much it costs to rank up, and then buy that next rank for points. And you can see that I set the amount of points here. That's how much they cost. And that gives my viewers something else to look forward to and to spend the points on. They can buy a certain rank and get bragging rights basically at that rank. If you guys have any features that you would like implemented into this bot for the ranks, let me know. And if I get time and it's not too difficult, then I might add it in a future update. But yeah, right now ranks are mostly bragging rights except for admin and owner. Now let's say you want to add a rank. Let's add a custom rank. So let's say rank, I don't know, rank warrior. We have a rank warrior. It costs 5,000, and let's put its position. So the levels actually its permission level, and it's also its position. So the permission level only matters for admin and owner. Permission level outside of admin and owner is just the basically the position. So owner is 0, admin is 1. As long as you are 2 or greater, you don't have to worry about it too much. It's only where that's placed. But if you're making a rank level 1 or level 0, be careful because you are making an admin and owner rank. Now, you don't want the admin and owner rank to cost something. So first off, let's make a warrior. Let's set it to 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Let's set it to level 3. All right, and add. And it will actually go right in there at level 3. And that's how you can add custom ranks. And let's say you want to edit. And let's say you want this at level 2. Let's say you want it level 2. All right, let's move it up. And then, oh, actually, it doesn't move if you do that. It just changes the position, I guess. Let's make it NA. It's not purchasable. That'll edit it. Oh, okay. So it doesn't do that. So you have to remove it and then add it back. And there you go. Okay. So you can't edit that. You can only remove and edit. That is a bug I will have to fix in an update. So I apologize for that. But anyway, all I have to do is just remove and re-add it. It's not that difficult. But anyway, there you go. It's now a warrior, and it can only be added. You can only attain that rank if the owner gives you that rank. It will have a permission level of 2, so it's not an admin, but it's a special rank that maybe you want donators to have a certain rank. Well, you can make it so you can't purchase that with points. Only the owner can give you that rank. And if you want it to be purchasable, then you just set the cost. Yeah, you can edit the cost. You just can't edit the position. Gotcha. Yeah, you can't edit the position, but you can edit the cost. Okay. Anyway, here you can basically set the cost, and if you don't want it to be purchasable, N/A, otherwise they can buy it as long as the rank under them, as long as they are the rank under that one, they can buy it if you have a cost. And then to remove it, you just click remove. There you go, and you can add ranks wherever you want. Now, it's important to note that let's say you want to add a new default rank. Well, let's say default, and we're gonna count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's add it at position 7. And we don't need it to cost anything, so we're gonna do NA, we're gonna add it. All right, there's the default rank. Now when people join your stream for the first time, they will be called, or they'll get the rank of default. This is important to know because if the next one has a cost of NA, the default rank cannot buy that. No matter how much they want to, they cannot buy that. Now this option is in there, so you can think of this as one of two ways. One, if you want that removed, you just have to type in new guy and remove it. 2, if you do want to leave it like that, well, that's fine. Your new people will only be default, and maybe you want only donators to be able to get into this level up system. Now that's another way to do it. So it's very, very customizable. So, but only the owner can like change them to viewer. So let's say you get a donation, like, oh, okay, thanks for the donation. Let me make you a viewer. And now you have the ability to rank up among the ranks. Well, there you go. You could also do that for multiple, a series of different ranks or whatever. So for example, I have this chunk. Well, what if I want another chunk? Well, I would just put an NA here and then put another chunk and then another default over here. And that way the default would be there. and then put an NA right above it so that way they can't rank up, and then I'll have a chunk here and a chunk here, and then I just say if you donate you get in this chunk, if you donate this much you'll get in this chunk, or whatever you want. So it's very customizable, guys, and I hope you guys enjoy that little feature. Now this doesn't have a limit on how many you can add, but it does have a limit on how many you can see. So for example, this has 6, then that would be 12, that'll be 24 total ranks that you can see on the screen. So anything greater than 24 will appear off screen, but you can make more than 24 ranks, but you just won't be able to see it. Yeah, hopefully you won't need more than 24 ranks. If you do, then I can always make this a little bit longer. I just didn't think you would need that many ranks, but yeah, let me know. And I hope you guys enjoy that little feature. And then last but not least, we have the commands. Now, there are more commands than just this. There's a total of 28 commands you can use, and they're all in the documentation. But these are little extra mini-game commands that you can use. We have the 8-ball, the heist, the betting, and the quote. So first, let's start off with the 8-ball. The 8-ball, you just ask the 8-ball a question. So 8-ball. How's... oh, you need a yes or no question. No, I was going to ask how's the weather, but it's a yes or no question. Yes or no question. Are you happy? And then the 8-ball will respond. And that's basically what you can do. You can do yes or no question to the 8-ball, and you can actually toggle that on or off. So if people start spamming the 8-ball, you can turn it off for a bit or leave it off or whatever you want. And this will save. So if you close it and you load it back up, it'll still be off. Then you have let's do the quote next. This is another easy one. The quote is just get quote and quote Clossi. I should test this theory. Basically, it'll drag a quote from the quotes that have been saved, and you can save a quote. For example, add quote. And then whatever you want to say. So add quote, I don't know, I'll think about it. Let me put a space right here. And then that'll actually add the quote to the quote list, and then the get quote will randomly choose something from the quote list, and this quote list will be saved. So basically your viewers can quote you or quote someone else and then add it to the quote list, and then anytime someone uses the get quote command, the quote it'll get something randomly from the quote list, and the quote list, who knows, maybe will get very large in your stream, and people will use a get quote and get the most random quotes from like moments that happen in your stream or something. And that's what that function does. And then you can do a betting and a heist. A heist is basically a bank robbery. So let's look at heist. So only an admin or owner can start a heist. Start heist. And then the banks are open, join before the cops arrive. And this will last, I think, 60 seconds. Heist 100, and then you can join a heist. And after 60 seconds, it will give you a command. You can also cancel the heist and whatnot there. And then you have the betting command. So start betting. This also can be done by admin. So if you're doing something, if you're playing something, an admin can start a betting session for you on like, are you going to win? Are you going to lose? Blah, blah, blah. And the admin can close the session while you're playing. So you can tell your admins, hey, close the session after like 50 moves or something like that. And that way you can start the betting and leave it open, or shut it whenever you want, and leave it open as however long you want. And then after you finish the game, you can actually manually put in who won, and it will take whatever was bet from the people who bet, and if they lost, and reward the people if they won. So I didn't rob the bank successfully by myself. The odds of you winning by yourself, I think, is slightly low, but the payouts really well if you win. And the more people that join, the more funny it gets, because there's many variables. So the more people that join, the higher chance that someone will get out with something. And there can be some funny situations that arise in that too. All right, so let's try the betting. Start betting. I think it's just the options. So start betting, option A, option B. No, I'll have to look at the documentation. See, I can't even remember all the commands. start bet. Oh, I did a quote. Colon, option A, option B. There you go. And now betting is open. You can vote 0 for option A or 1 for B. So like, will I win? Will I lose? And then I can say bet on 0, 100. And then I bet 100 on option A, blah, blah, blah. And then I can stop the bet. Betting's finished. And then I can pick the winner. Bet winner is option 0, which was option A. And then since ClossiBot voted option A, ClossiBot gains 100 Clossi coins. So that's basically how you can do it. What you bet is what you'll get. So you'll get 100% of what you bet. And if you lose, you'll lose 100%. So it's just a little betting game. Now, the bet doesn't have a... No. I was wrong. I did put this. I did implement this. So there is a complicated feature that the betting has, and I was able to implement it. I thought I implemented it somewhere else, but I did implement it here. So this feature is basically the voting weight feature or something like that. It's something similar to that. When people vote, let's say there's 10 people that vote, and let's say 3 of them vote yes and 7 of them vote no. Well, let's say yes is the winner. Well, then the 3 of them will actually make 170% of what they bet because they bet against the odds. The odds was against them, and so they'll get more. So here, the odds is in my favor because I had 100% odds, so I only made 100%. But if the odds are against me, then I'll make whatever I bet times that percentage that I have to win. Meaning, how to explain? It's in the documentation. The actual math equation's in the documentation. But basically, if more people bet than the ones who won, then the ones who won will gain a higher amount. So this means when you bet, you have a chance to win anywhere from 100% of what you bet to 199% of what you bet. The highest you can win is 199% or 199.9%. That you can't ever get to 100%. So when you bet, you can gain anywhere. If you win, you'll gain anywhere a minimum of 100% and a maximum of 199% of whatever you bet. And I liked that feature because it gave a weight. So the people that bet against the odds will get a higher payout. If you think that the numbers aren't good, you can let me know, and that can be another feature request update or something. If you want to change the weight, maybe you want it to be if it's 73, then instead of it being a 70-30 ratio or a 30-70 ratio percentage-wise, it can like be a 60 to 140% ratio. And that'll be, and so that way you would have a 100% to like, I think, what would that be? 200% or anywhere from 100% to 200% or 300% or 400% or whatever you want the max to be. And you can do that. But maybe I can add that later. But for now, I went ahead and put a weight system on it. I haven't actually tested the betting. I know the betting works, but I haven't tested like if these numbers are good or not. But hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you like all the features. It took me a good couple weeks to make this. I think probably it's because I'm slow and had to look up a lot of stuff. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. I hope you guys enjoy the bot and hope you guys are able to use the features in your stream. Now, this bot, again, was meant for Go streamers who play the board game Go, but if you're not a Go streamer and you want to use it, I hope it does what you need it to do, and I hope you guys enjoy the GoBot. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or leave them on my Patreon, or send me a message on Patreon. If you have any feature requests, send them to me in a message on Patreon and request a feature, or maybe leave them in the comments below again. Any bug reports, do the message on Patreon or message me on Facebook, so that way I can fix them. But I think that just about covers everything. I hope you guys found everything easy enough to understand. Again, consult the documentation if you don't get it. And send me a message if you need any help setting it up or running it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the GoBot. Thanks for watching, and thanks for getting the GoBot, and I will see you guys next time.